By the way, I am not on social media. I just got on Facebook, which I love to look at videos. I just got on Facebook like 6 weeks ago. And I like to watch the videos there. There's usually an instructional video there to help, or something from the archives, or music, or, whatever it might be. And then all of a sudden, I see this, LeBron doesn't have the bag. So I'm thinking, wait a minute, is bag money? Because I thought when you get the bag, you get money. And then all of a sudden I said to Marvin, can you help me? What does bag mean? I thought LeBron has been well compensated in his career.
So you're almost correct. He has the bag, which is the money.
Okay.
A bag is short for a bag of tricks, which means like your offensive arsenal.
So LeBron doesn't have a bag of tricks.
Correct. 40,000 points in quote-unquote no bag.
Isn't that even more amazing that maybe he doesn't have a bag of tricks or a go-to? Kareem had one trick in his bag, and that was the sky hook. Is anybody... Seton and I were talking about this. Has there been a more... I'm not going to say polarizing, but it feels like I don't remember somebody being this great who's been criticized this much, unless it's Tom Brady. But social media is relentless on LeBron James. And I keep thinking, what am I missing here? Even when he wins a title in the bubble, he won it in the bubble, which was a disadvantage for LeBron and the Lakers because they would have had home court advantage. Instead, they went to something, antiseptic as a bubble, and he won a championship. Oh, he had to create the big three. He tried to get players to go to Cleveland. I think Chris Bosh famously said, I didn't even want to fly over Cleveland. He was going to go to Miami. But, man, the talons come out, the venom comes out when it's LeBron James. I'm just surprised because I can't remember somebody who has been criticized this much. And I guess we have to look at the social media era other than Tom Brady. Oh, he could have done it without Belichick. Okay. He still did it with Belichick. Yes, Eden.
I think maybe the word is disrespected.
Okay.
Because his accomplishments certainly speak for himself or themselves. But the LeBron conversation is perfect for social media because people are just editing clips of him not really doing anything and turning the ball over and being like, greatest of all trash. And you're like, what? That's not really fair. That's one play in one game of thousands.
And I guess maybe it's a slow time of the year for people while they wait for football and they don't care about the other sports. But I was just surprised that a guy who has 40,000 points doesn't have a signature move.
They can do them all.
Which to me is remarkable. I mean, he does have a signature move. Michael Jordan's on record of saying, if LeBron got me on his hip and he was going right, I can't stop him. So one of the greatest defenders of all time, on-ball defenders of all time, says, if LeBron has me on his hip, I can't stop him. Okay. Now, is he a great shooter? No. He's a great scorer. But the bag of tricks is that he doesn't have a trick in his bag. I mean, that's remarkable. And then you get 40,000 points? And yes, am I a LeBron apologist? For the most part, yes. Do I think it's closer between him and Michael Jordan? It is, but they're just different. It's different era. They're different players. What one was required or asked to do and what one was required or asked to do, it's just different. And yes, Michael didn't go to another team to win a championship, but he had Jerry Krause, and nobody brings up without Jerry Krause, Michael doesn't win championships like this. He doesn't. Jerry Krause was incredible at bringing in talent to surround Michael. And Michael never liked Jerry Krause, the GM. And he might not have liked him because Jerry was getting credit for some of this. And Mike maybe didn't want to share. But they're incredible players. Like Kobe, I brought up to the guys today, Magic gets shortchanged as being one of the greatest players of all time. He is there with Larry Bird. But I used to argue about how great Magic was because when my point guard walks on the floor and he's 6'9", I got a distinct advantage over you. Whoever you put on him, I got an incredible advantage. How many players in the history of the game, when they walk on the floor, all of a sudden you've got a mismatch? Like a decided advantage. Height advantage, talent advantage. And Magic didn't, he chose to distribute. He didn't say, he could have gotten 25, 30. But, we get caught up in who's great, who's the greatest, that guy's not great. And what we end up doing is we end up criticizing more players than complimenting more players. And that's where it gets kind of discouraging with it. And I once again, it just kind of stood out, and I go, where does this come from? I mean, Skip Bayless made a career of every single day, it felt like, criticizing LeBron James. And it's fake. All he wanted was reaction from you because he could get reaction. Because if your answer is Michael Jordan, you're going to win every argument. It's the strength of going into an argument. You go, yeah, but I got the trump card, and I've got Michael Jordan. And he's Neil Armstrong. And LeBron might be the second astronaut on the moon. Maybe. But Mike did it. And, even Kobe. If Kobe did it before Mike did it, how would we view Kobe? We'd be like Michael had to, imitate Kobe. It's unfortunate, but we do that with great players. I love an argument, but I love an argument where you're discussing the greatness of somebody. Oh, what did LeBron do? Never wanted to take the last shot. Two of Michael's most famous moments were John Paxson and Steve Kerr because they were the right players at the right moment in the right spot to take the shot. Nobody talks about that. When the Bulls won their title against the Lakers, Magic was all bang. Nobody talks about that. We edit. It's convenient editing when it comes to sometimes when you're talking about great players, great teams. Yes, Marvin.
With DP, later today, I'm going to go to a barbershop and just say, hey, everybody. Oh, Marvin, do you need a haircut? Nope. LeBron's better than Jordan.
And then walk out?
Just try to walk out. There'd be 10 guys. No, come back here. That's like taking the pin off the grenade and just throwing it.
Yeah. I guess it shouldn't bother me because, they're both all-time greats. And, one's got $3 billion and the other one's got $1 billion. And they're okay. They're fine. But, sometimes when you're talking, I saw where somebody was saying, hey, who would you rather have, Kevin Durant or Larry Bird? And I go, what? Okay, is this is real? Okay, having a discussion about who would you rather have?
That's not that crazy of a thought, though. I know for some people it is, but it's not that crazy of a thought.
For me, it is. Yeah. Like, would you say, hey, Akeem or Kevin Durant? And the answer is nobody would have that argument. Hey, would you?
Kevin Durant.
Oh, you would? Man,
Same.
No way.
Yeah,
Akeem.
7 feet tall, draining threes. Hell yeah.
Akeem might be the best two-way player in the history of the game. Unbelievable defensive player. And he was unstoppable on offense. But, okay, once again. But, yeah, I would take Larry. If I take Larry Bird, and I had this argument the other day. Discussion, I should say. 6 years. Take the 6 best consecutive years out of careers. Now, let's take Wilt out of it because those numbers are going to be video game-like. But if you're looking at the best 6 years of somebody's career, because that's a pretty good sample size. It's not 3 where you're kind of like, hey, he was good, but only for 3 years. 6 years. Would we change the rankings, all-time rankings of basketball players? And it would be just show me your best work. This isn't compiling. This is just you and fellow competitors. What were you during your era? And I think that would be fun. Maybe it's a homework project for Bill Simmons to to work on. Him and Ryan Russillo can give me the 6 best years together. Not staggered, it's 6 years. And I got off on a tangent today. Okay, all right. Anywho,